Watch out, 8 million low-income Americans have lost their benefits, with an estimated 16 million more to go. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know about this surprising information right here in the video. Let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to specifically focus on 94 million low-income Americans all across the country and show you how 8 million beneficiaries have already lost their benefits, and according to the estimates, another 16 million are to come. Now, this is some scary stuff, and this is really happening as of right now, which is why I want to bring it to your attention and help you avoid losing these benefits as well, because a lot of people that are losing benefits really shouldn't be, but that is what's going on and what the statistics are now showing. And again, hopefully with this short video right here, I can help you avoid losing these benefits. Now, this is a situation that is going on through the rest of 2023 and throughout all of 2024. Now, as I film this video, we are near the end of 2023. There's only a little bit of time left in 2023, but this will be happening between now and the end of the year, and it's going to be happening in the entire year of 2024. Therefore, we need to continue watching this very closely. This has been happening for quite a few months already in 2023, and you can see 8 million low-income people have been impacted in a major way. Let's get into it, and I'll talk through the details of what this is that I'm referring to. And again, hopefully this will help you avoid the loss of coverages as well. Big stuff going on right now, and again, this is a scary situation for a lot of people, especially with everything else going on around the globe and across the entire country right now. Yeah, some pretty weird stuff, right? Anyway, let's get right into it. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video if you have not done so yet. And also, right down there as well, make sure to hit the like button or the thumbs up button. It gives me feedback on videos like this to help me better understand if this is helpful, if this is something that you enjoy, if I should continue talking about stuff like this. And again, it just gives me feedback, and it's completely 100% anonymous. I have no idea who hits the button down there, but again, it just gives me that anonymous feedback to help me better understand, is this a good thing? Am I helping you out with this? Is this helpful information? Stuff like that. So again, hit the like button down below, subscribe down below if you haven't done so, and let's get into it and talk about the details of the 8 million so far, the 16 million to go, 24 million in total, 94 million people across the country. Yeah, a lot of stuff, okay? All right, so what this comes down to is the Medicaid unwinding, okay? Maybe you've heard me talk about this before. Let me elaborate. But first off, let me say this much really quickly. I'm talking about Medicaid, not to be mistaken with Medicare. Big differences between these two, okay? There's about 65 million people enrolled in Medicare, and there's 94 million people enrolled in Medicaid, okay? Medicaid unwinding is what we're talking about here, not Medicare, okay? I know I said that a couple times there, but I just want to elaborate. It's very important here to determine the differences between these two, okay? So a lot of people that we're talking about here. Now get this. Back in January of 2020, like right before things started really unraveling in this country with all the stuff that was going on at the time, there were 71 million people enrolled in Medicaid. Over the course of from January 2020 up until April of 2023. It expanded from 71 million people on Medicaid to 94 million people on Medicaid. That's an additional 23 million people that enrolled in Medicaid over that, 3 years' time? A little bit over 3 years of time? It's a lot of people, right? 23 million additional people. However, here's what's happening. Starting in April of this year, 2023, so quite a few months ago, as I said, we're kind of near the end of 2023 as I record this video right now. So quite a few months ago, starting in April, they started doing this thing that they're calling Medicaid unwinding. Now, the last time that they did something like this was back in the early 80s, 1983. At that time, they unenrolled 600,000 people, and that was incredibly detrimental to the people that have lost benefits of that. Now, obviously, that was, 40 years ago? Yeah, 40 years ago is when that took place, 600,000 people. Well, basically what they're talking about now is what we're foreseeing, or what we're happening, and what is occurring to these beneficiaries right now is on a much larger scale. Back then, it was 600,000 people. We're talking potentially upwards of 24 million people. That's how many times more? Honestly, I don't really know. I need a calculator for that one. Or I need more than a little bit of time here to kind of run that one through my head as I talk here. But again, I don't know what the percentage or what that is, but that's a major multiplier on that, okay? That is multiple times more. Anyway, what they're doing now, so Medicaid unwinding. Basically what happened is during that 3 years and about 4 months time from January 2020 until April of 2023, basically what was happening is somebody could enroll in Medicaid, but they were not eligible to be unenrolled or disenrolled from Medicaid because of the public health emergency declaration that was put in place in early 2020. As a result of that, basically the rule said you cannot unenroll people from Medicaid. They can be on Medicaid, they cannot be disenrolled during that time. Okay, well, basically what happened is in April, the public health emergency declaration expired earlier this year in 2023, therefore allowing them to start unenrolling or disenrolling people from Medicaid who may not be eligible for a variety of reasons, right? So they started doing this back in April. It started out with about 5 states in April. Then it ramped up to more states in May, more states in June, more states in July, and here we are quite a few months later, and basically all the states are doing this right now. They're disenrolling people from Medicaid who may not be eligible. Like I said, 8 million have already lost coverages, okay? They're estimating between now and the end of 2024, another 16 million people will be losing coverage, okay? So what do you need to know? How can you potentially stay enrolled in Medicaid? Now, I want to be fair with you. I have talked about this before in other videos. I have not talked about this in probably, I don't know, maybe 2 months or something like that. I've talked about it a couple other times because this is so incredibly important. But let me tell you the details about this. So, if you have not received paperwork from your state or some type of communication, your state should be reaching out to you at some point with paperwork or some type of communication. It could be electronic in some states where they're asking you to basically re-enroll in Medicaid. And they're going to look at your eligibility and see, okay, you're eligible or you're not eligible, okay? So this is the big deal about this. Now, here's what I'm finding. They continue to find 75% of people that are being disenrolled from Medicaid should actually not be disenrolled in the first place, but they are because the paperwork or basically the enrollment forms that are supposed to be filled out were not filled out in their entirety, or they were not all returned back to the state office for processing, therefore the disenrollment happened, okay? 75%. So we could really lower that number if the paperwork was just filled out in its entirety. And again, don't get me wrong, when it comes to paperwork, I'm like the worst person when it comes to paperwork. Half the time, I'm going to be honest with you, half the time when I see questions on paperwork, I have no clue what they're even asking. I'm just being real with you. I probably shouldn't tell you that. Sometimes I am so confused when I look at paperwork. There's a question that's like, it's worded so weirdly. I'm like, why can't this be asked in a normal way? Like, seriously, I'm not like a genius by any means at all. I'll never act like I am. But my point is, like, some of these questions on paperwork, I don't have a clue how to answer it. I'm like, I have no idea what they're even trying to ask right here. And I'll write something in weird, or obviously I don't write it. Somebody else writes it for me because I'm blind and I can't even see anything. So my point is, a lot of times when it comes down to paperwork, I don't have a clue what I'm doing most of the time. Ask my wife. She's like, yeah, Matt's a mess. He doesn't even know what's going on half the time. But my point is, a lot of times this paperwork is worded so weirdly that it's like, what are you guys even trying to get by here? Like, what are they trying to even ask? So again, that's probably why some of these questions are not filled out in its entirety and answered, because sometimes it may be asked in such a weird way that it's like, I don't even know what you're trying to ask me right here in this question, right? So as a result of that, these questions are being left blank, and again, it needs to be filled out in its entirety. So what can I recommend to you? Now, obviously, I cannot advise you in any way, shape, or form. I don't know your situation. And again, the last thing I would want to do is tell you what to do. That's not what I'm here to do. I am not here to micromanage. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but rather I'm here to educate, I'm here to inform, and I'm here to tell you the best way to approach something and basically to watch out for the pitfalls along the way. So basically what I would do is this. If you get communication from your state, which if you have not already, you should be getting paperwork in the mail or some type of electronic communication, possibly through email, something like this. When you get that information, make sure to fill it out in its entirety if you can. If you don't know the answer to a question, maybe call your local office and say, hey, yo, this question is asked in a really weird way. This question is terrible. Can you help me better understand how I'm supposed to answer it? They can probably help you out and give you some guidance. Maybe ask a family member. Maybe ask a friend, somebody that is trusted that you know maybe also has Medicaid, or maybe there's somebody that, can kind of help you out with that. Make sure it's a trusted person, though, not just some random person on the street or something like that. You know what I mean? Some person that you don't know or don't trust, just make sure it's because it's pretty sensitive information as well. So I would do that. And again, when you return the information, make sure to return all the paperwork. Now, again, I know this is super basic stuff and it's like, seriously, are you really telling me this right now? But again, this is what they're telling, or what they're saying is 75% of people are being disenrolled in Medicaid simply because of these two things: paperwork not being submitted back in its entirety, or the paperwork not being filled out in its entirety. So that means a lot of people could possibly be still on Medicaid. Now, I can tell you this much. Losing Medicaid coverages is going to make a huge headache for a lot of people, okay? Now, again, you can lose Medicaid and then get it back, but I can tell you this much. You're probably going to learn the hard way that you've lost Medicaid coverages. Maybe you go to your local pharmacy to pick something up. Maybe you go to a doctor's appointment. Maybe whatever happens. I don't know. And all of a sudden they pull out your card and they look you up and, type all the stuff in and say, hey, I'm sorry, you're not covered anymore. You do not have coverages. We can't see you today, or we can't dispense this prescription because you don't have coverages, something like this. Again, it's going to be a huge headache, and it's already been a huge headache for a lot of people. So unfortunately, let's just see if we can avoid this at all costs if we can. So anyway, hope this helps you out. But again, I want to bring this to your attention. I've been seeing some more information popping up on this. This 8 million figure has been showing up a little bit lately. I want to bring this to your attention. And again, watch out. This is roughly only 1/3 of the roughly 24 million people that are likely going to be losing coverages as a result of the Medicaid unwinding. 8 million so far, 16 million to go. These are some shocking and surprising and kind of scary numbers for a lot of people, right? So basically what they're trying to do, according to my math on this, 94 million people enrolled in Medicaid as of April 2023. Basically, they want to bring it down to the levels that we saw back in January, or even less than January of 2020. So they basically want to take everybody off that enrolled over the last couple of years. Obviously, that's not how it really works, but it's basically on a number standpoint, that's what it comes down to, if that kind of makes sense. So anyway, hope this helps you. Again, please leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. Let me know if you want me to come back and elaborate on anything. If there's anything I can help you with, again, let me know down below in the comment section. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, totally free to do so. The subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit the like button. Again, it gives me feedback on videos like this. Do you like it? Should I continue to focus on this kind of stuff? Again, it's anonymous, 100% anonymous. I don't have a clue who hits the like button or whatever. But again, it just helps me out to better understand, is this helpful to you? Anyway, enjoy your day. Go back and check out some of the thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Well over 4,000 videos. Yeah, I know, that's a lot of videos. Go back and check out some of those if you'd like. Otherwise, share the video with your friends, family, social media, especially if you know somebody that's enrolled in Medicaid. Make sure that they get this information so they can also watch out for that communication as well. Otherwise, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And please remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. My dedication, my promise, and as always, I'll continue to maintain that. Enjoy. Have a good one, and I'll catch you again later.